Gentlemen, I hope you're having a fine evening.
Mr. Mayor, wonderful to see you again.
Lemieux, this intellectual here was just insulting me regarding the Redskin.
I did no such thing. But, Mr. Lemieux, I suggested that all of us, as Americans, had a duty to take care of people living in this land. And that extends to Saint Denis.
It ain't complex, Lemieux. And only an idiot like you, buddy, would try to make it so.
I will not deny idiocy, sir, but perhaps now is not the time.
Typical pansy.
You are drunk, Ferdinand.
I'm not drunk, you fool. But this man loves darkies.
Hey, you are pretty drunk. Yeah, hey, what say you and me cool off?
Hello?
Get your hands off me. Come on, sleep it off. Sit down and calm down. Count to 1,000. Then you can rejoin the party.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Henri Lemieux. I hope you're enjoying my party.
The mayor.
Allegedly.
That's quite a place you got here.
It's not mine, and the city is horribly in debt, but we can still put on a good show. Do you know Evelyn Miller?
My lord. The writer?
Well, we seem to have another deranged drunkard on our hands.
Shall we?
Oh, my lord, they're fantastic.
Monsieur, please. Mr. Cornwall was quite insistent, I'm afraid. He shouted down the telephone for several minutes.
Mr. Cornwall is a horse's ass, and a bad horse.
I'm very sorry, sir.
It's not your fault. I'm a fool for trusting him. I'll come in and sign it in a minute. Let me enjoy the fireworks.
Of course.
Did he say something about Cornwall? Yes. Find out what. Sure.
Hello, sir.
No problems? Everything's fine. We have the place well secured.
Good. Mr. Bronte has a habit of wandering about and reading whatever he likes.
We're watching him and his men like hawks.
Thank you, Mr. Terrapin.
Is everything taken care of? The telephone, it keeps ringing.
The mayor said he will sign later. Marie! Marie! Find that little reprobate Chip and beat him. We're not up... I'm sorry, sir, but the party's in the garden. The residence is purely for family. I do hope you understand.
Forgive me. I was unaware.
Have standards slip in this house. Have you lost your mind? I said, have you lost your mind? Come here. Come here. Look at me. Look at me. Who do you think you are? This area is not meant for the likes of you. You know this. The standards in this house are slipping. This is a final warning to you, miss. A final warning. Didn't you hear me? This area is off limits. If I see you again, I will have to escort you out myself.
Yes, sorry. I was just admiring the art.
Now get out! out of my sight!
No, that's it! Guards! Guards! We have an intruder!
Hey! Is everything taken care of? The telephone, it keeps ringing.
The mayor said he will sign later. Marie! Marie! Find that little reprobate Jip and beat him. I will not have standards slip in this house. Have you lost your mind? I said, have you lost your mind? Come here. Come here. Look at me. Look at me. Who do you think you are? This area is not meant for the likes of you. You know this. The standards in this house are slipping. This is a final warning to you, miss. A final warning. Now get out of my sight.
Mr. Leviticus Cornwall. Top secret. Extremely confidential. Very interesting.
Monsieur?
Find anything? I think so.
Nothing. This town is a waste of time.
Maybe not. Arthur? Gentlemen, I think we're done here.
What did you find out?
There's plenty of money moves through here, of course, and I think I found out how we can grab some of it. A big bank. Real one, I mean. But not yet.
A city bank?
Maybe. And a stuffed one. If we're gonna leave, that could be the one thing we need.
There's also that trolley car station Senor Bronte told us about, and I heard about a high-stakes poker game. Come on. Here comes Lenny. All right, let's get in. Go home.
I ain't never felt so awkward in all my life. All them folk all so pleased with themselves. Oh, high society's pigeon shit. If you ask me, it's more like torture.
Well, that's sort of the point, isn't it? Let the people torture themselves.
Here's them papers I took.
Let me see you take this.
I don't think so.
I might have an idea. Let me think on it. Interesting times.
I guess. So what's next? Dancing lessons? Deportment?
More along the lines of armed robbery. Hosea is handling reconnaissance on the bank. He and Abigail are gonna run some distractions, see how the law reacts.
Good.
Oh, and I spoke to Evelyn Miller. Fine man. Here helping the Indian chief we saw.
Yeah, I met him too, with the mayor.
He's lobbying officials in Saint Denis on their behalf. Maybe we could help.
Maybe.
Now, I think there's a lot of money on the riverboat. A lot of money. And Trelawney, he's investigating for us. He says to meet him at the Taylor's.
Okay.
One big score down here, Arthur, and we disappear. We are almost heading home.
Where is home?
I don't know. Exactly. But I can smell it. I'm gonna go investigate this trolley thing old Bronte was talking about.
Okay.
Hosea.
Hi, Mary Beth.
How are you doing? So-so. It all happens for a reason.
Mr. Morgan, can I ask you a favor, if it's convenient, I mean?
Sure.
If you're out on your adventures and you see any herbs for seasoning, would you mind grabbing them for me?
Seasoning?
Yes. Don't tell Mr. Pearson.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. Here's those herbs you asked for.
Excellent, thank you. I'll slip these in Pearson's pot when he's not looking.
You all right, Jack?
Pearson? I'm just fine. Why?
Good morning.
No reason. You got some guts, kid. That's for sure.
Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan.
Reverend?
I've been wanting to ask you something. I've been wanting to for days.
Okay. What is it?
I can't remember. Oh, this frightful curse. I've ruined my life with it.
Then stop doing it.
Oh, no, sir. I can't do that. Really. I can't.
So, you gonna look into this bank?
Yes. I want to make sure we're fully prepped before making any moves.
For sure. Anyway, I won't disturb you.
Sure, Arthur.
Happy to be out of that suit?
Never again. I hated every minute of that party.
Well, we got some good leads out of it.
Yes, what is it?
Okay, well, let's talk more later.
Okay,
The
then.
O'Driscoll boy? No, I haven't. Firstly, he isn't an O'Driscoll, and secondly, I'm worried.
But I'm sure he'll turn up. His sort normally do.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Whoa, easy. That was some riding, How you doing, Mrs. Adler?
How are you? Been quite a journey since I joined you fellas.
Yes.
And now you and Dutch have joined high society. Oh, Lord above.
Yeah, it seems so.
I think my days in polite society are over.
Well, I just saw Bill Williamson at a party at the San Denise's mayor's house. If he can do it, anyone can.
You get any leads?
Yeah, I think so.
You know so, Arthur Morgan. Come on. We need to talk. Mrs. Adler, will you excuse us?
When you gonna let me come robbing with you, Dutch?
My lord, a few more like her, we could take over the whole world.
Yeah. A few more like her, there wouldn't be much of a world left.
Yes, perhaps. Now. The trolley bus station. I went down there. I took a look at it. I think we can hit it.
I ain't never robbed in a city before.
Yeah, well, you leave the planning to me. You'll ride with me?
Always. Is it just you and me?
No, we'll need one more, I reckon.
I say Lenny.
Not Micah.
Well, that depends if you want a massacre or a payday.
No, I wish that there was something I could do to make the two of you get along better.
Well, that's easy. Make them change.
Very funny. What is that?
What the hell have they done to me?
Look, there, the tree line.
Everybody take cover! Easy.
So far.
Hey, move it!
Excuse me.
Hey, do I know you?
Mr. I believe we've met.
We have?
At that ghastly party.
Oh, Evelyn Miller.
Unfortunately so, Mr.
Arthur Morgan, at least sometimes.
Can I say something rude?
Sure.
The mayor thinks you robbed him. To be clear, he wasn't very upset about it. He rather liked you.
Okay.
Do you, well, I mean to say, can you steal things?
Is there a reason you're asking me to incriminate myself, Mr. Miller?
Well, I'm sorry. Have you met? This is Rains Fall, a great chief, and his son, Eagle Flies.
Gentlemen?
Yeah, we saw you in the wagon train crossing the river at Cumberland Falls. And at the party, you were upstairs.
You have great powers of observation.
It's my people, if we are even a people anymore. We've fought hard. We've made peace treaties, and those treaties were broken. And we've been moved and punished and moved.
I'm sure.
And now I am told we are to be moved again.
Clearly contravening the peace treaty signed 3 years ago.
This will lead to war.
No, my son, it will not. We cannot fight another war. They have got stronger, and we have become far weaker, Mr. Morgan.
Well, it's bad business.
It's to do with oil. I know it is, but I need the proof. I believe there were some prospectors who were on their land a few months ago who have filed reports with Leviticus Cornwall and the state government claiming huge reserves of oil under their land.
So, you want me to try and steal it?
Obviously they can't. And even more obviously, I would be useless. Listen, I realize that it is a ridiculous request, but we're very desperate.
Now, I'm not a do-gooder, Mr. Miller. Gentlemen, I'm very sorry for your predicament, but I'm a working man. I got problems of my own.
We will pay you very handsomely, Mr. Morgan.
How much?
I told you, they're all mercenaries.
There's a price on my head in 2 states, my friend. The government doesn't like me any more than it does you. Like you, I've been running for as long as I can remember. And like you, my time here is nigh undone.
We understand, and we will pay.
Thank you.
You meet my son in a couple of days near Citadel Rock, just west of the oil fields.
Okay.
We are very grateful for your help.
Gentlemen, that appointment with the senator. We should head over there.
It's a waste of our time. And his.
We must try everything. Come along.
Hello, Mr. Miller. The counselor wants to apologize. He can see you now.
We've been waiting I don't know how long.
Or next month, if you'd like to reschedule.
Come. Perhaps the senator won't mind waiting.
Good morning, Chief.